This weekend, millions of Americans will spring forward an hour for daylight saving time. That means it'll be brighter on your way home as we get an extra hour of sunset. Every state except Arizona and Hawaii will change their clocks early on Sunday. Meteorologist Andrew Brightman here to talk about it. Andrew, every year there's always this push to change or keep the permanent daylight saving time. And there's a lot of pros and cons about this.
There's a lot of pros and cons. Also, some people don't realize that what we're going to, once we get to the spring and summer, that's daylight saving time. And sometimes they think that what we're doing in the winter is daylight saving time, so they want to get rid of that. That's what's called standard time.
Standard time.
This all came about with the Universal Time Code of 1966. So those two states, Arizona and Hawaii, they are on permanent standard time, not daylight saving time.
I know I have friends in California and Arizona. They always say, well, it's 2 hours behind. No, it's not. It's 3 hours behind.
Exactly.
It just depends on the time of year.
It can be confusing, and many people, they like the additional light here during the afternoon, evening hours once we spring forward, and they want to keep that during the winter. But you talked about it. There are definitely some serious cons when you think about it, because kids, they go to school during the morning hours here and during the winter, and it can be very, very dark. It already is pretty dark during the winter times. Then you think about the northern part of the country, there's really some extreme differences that we would see if we were to do permanent daylight saving, not savings, saving time. There's all these little intricacies
there, right? Yeah.
I love talking about it. But again, once we get to Sunday, we spring forward. We go from standard time, which is what we are on right now, to daylight saving time. So what will change is that we'll go from a sunrise right now about 6:44 to a sunrise of now after 7:40. So it'll be a little bit darker in the morning. And then also, what everyone gets really excited about is that all of a sudden our sunset goes from 6:24 to a sunset now closing in on 7:30. But as the days get longer, we'll see that sunrise begin to creep all the way back to 6:30 once we get to the summer solstice. But so many people, we want permanent daylight saving time. This is what the consequences would be if we had permanent daylight saving time. What would be the latest sunrise? Here in Charlotte, our latest sunrise wouldn't be until roughly about 8:30 or so in the morning. But you see more extreme examples here as we get to the northern half of the country and the western portions of each time zone. Like once we get to portions of Michigan, that's in the westernmost portion of the eastern time zone, they wouldn't see a sunrise until almost 9:30 in the morning. Northern portions of North Dakota, they wouldn't see a sunrise until after 9:30, close to 10 o'clock. Many states here across the heartland of the country, wide places, kids going to school well in the dark. I'm talking about pitch black if you're getting on the bus here at 7 o'clock in the morning. That is what the consequence would be. And this was something that we tried back in 1974 for that winter. We tried permanent daylight saving time across the United States. Everyone hated it. Kids had to go to school in the dark. There was an uptick in accidents. Some kids had to wear special reflective coating because they were going to school in the pitch dark. Now, yes, everyone misses the sunshine, the brighter afternoons, early evenings when we go through the winter months here across the United States. But the cost would not be worth the payoff of having that later sunset, because you'd have a much later sunrise. Again, many places not seeing a sunrise until after 9 o'clock in the morning. On balance, not worth. And also, it just throws off our sleep schedules a little bit when we're not seeing a sunrise until some places almost the mid-morning. But it's always an interesting debate every single year, especially when we fall back, but also when we spring forward as well.